What happens when you remove all distractions and trust just one method? For 20 days, I chose to learn Italian using only Duolingo. No lessons, no videos, no explanations, just the app, a daily routine, and a beginner's mindset. And I didn't expect fluency, but I wanted to understand how far can you go with just one tool. In this video, I will share the results honestly and in detail, what I learned, what surprised me, and whether I would recommend this approach to others starting a new language from zero. I have always had a deep interest in languages, and while I'm currently focused on Spanish, I was curious to see how Italian compares. So Italian is a language I have always found beautiful, lyrical, expressive, and rich in culture. Choosing Duolingo was international. It's one of the most well-known apps for language learning, and I wanted to see what it could offer as a stand-alone method, not just a supplement. So the goal was clear: 20 consecutive days, 10 to 15 minutes a day using only Duolingo. No external input, no translation, no notes, just the app. Each day I opened the app and completed a full set of lessons focusing on a consistency rather than quantity. So I didn't skip days and I didn't jump between topics. I allowed the apps to guide my path. I followed standard learning path, repeating difficult exercises when needed. I also avoided using the tips or formulas since the challenge was to rely slowly on the core features available to every user. So my only focus: build daily momentum, observe how the app presents vocabulary and grammar, track whether passive repetition can lead to active understanding. So there are a few strengths I noticed right away. Consistency through gamification, the streak system, and leveling feature make it easy to maintain discipline. It removes the barrier of starting each day. So vocabulary exposure through repetition, I started to recognize common words and sentence structures. Simple things like io, ho, bisogno di, or dove, sai became familiar quickly. So no friction. The app's design is clean, there are no distractions, and you can complete a lesson in a few minutes without needing explanations. And also motivation to keep going. It doesn't overwhelm you. Even after a long day, I found it manageable to open the app and practice even briefly. So despite its strengths, Duolingo has clear limitations, especially if used alone. Lack of context. Most phrases appear without background. You are translating isolated sentences which doesn't reflect how language works in real life. And no real conversations. After 20 days, I wasn't able to speak or build my own sentences naturally. The app helps with recognition, but not with production. And minimal grammar explanation. There is no structured overview of verb conjugations or sentence rules. I often noticed patterns, but I wasn't always sure why they worked that way. And no native input. I didn't hear authentic accents, dialogue speed, or cultural expressions. Everything felt artificial, controlled. So Duolingo builds a foundation, but without other resources, it can't take you far in real world usage. One of the most fascinating parts of this experience was noticing the similarities between Italian and Spanish. Because I'm currently learning Spanish more seriously, I immediately began making connections. It's like io ho bisogno di, I need, versus io necessito, or come va versus como estas. And verb endings generate nouns and sentence structure almost parallel in many ways. This similarity made it easier to retain new Italian phrases, especially in the early stages. It also deepened my appreciation for the Romance language family: Spanish, Italian, French, Portuguese, Romanian. Learning one helps you understand the others, but even with this advantage, the limits of the method still remained. So what did I walk away with after 20 days of Duolingo? A set of frequently used vocabulary, a sense of Italian rhythm and structure, basic reading comprehension for short, simple sentences, an increased awareness of how Romance languages connect. However, I did not gain the ability to hold conversations, express original thoughts on a negative real world situations in Italian, but Duolingo is helpful, starting point, but it's not enough on its own. It's best used as a support tool, not a complete method. If your goal is to read, speak, or truly use the language, you will need to complement it with listening to native content, practicing with a partner, reading and writing actively, engaging grammar consciously. I'm still prioritizing Spanish at the moment, but I plan to return to Italian in the future, this time using more comprehensive resource. This experiment reminded me of something important. No tool is perfect, but consistency, even in a limited format, can still move you forward. If you have tried Duolingo before in any language, I would be curious to hear your experience. Did you stick with it? Did you combine it with other tools? Let me know in the comments. And if you are on your own language learning journey, I will be sharing more reflections and strategies in upcoming video. Grazie mille and see you soon.